Let me get my tea because I'm going to need it. All right. Medicine cards, just in case. Self-love, self-care, self-nature. Just in case. Okay, let's see what's caught in this. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And I hope that your day is going well. Let's see the time that I'm doing this reading. It's 7:30, 7:29. So, beautiful soul family, what I got, the download that I got for today, or for whoever is watching this, okay? But the download that I'm especially speaking about is peace. And so I come to you with peace, and I hope that this, if you're in pieces, if you're, when I think about pieces, I think about being torn away, torn in different directions, pulled in different directions, and these different directions are pulling you from your power center. Okay, and so when you're in one piece, when you're in the wholesomeness of self, in the alignment, okay, because your mind could be elsewhere, your body could be led astray. That's when your body and your mind are not in alignment, because the body moves forward according to the conditions of the mind. So in your mind, if it's a scatter, then your body is going to be a scatter, is going to be caught up in the, like the Two of Wands, in stagnation, trying to come to a point of making a decision. You can't make a decision if there's confusion. Okay, and so then that means that there's not an alignment to your spirit. Okay, so when you draw it back to your power center, okay, when you, it's like trying to find something in the dark. You need to turn on the light, and then you will find it. And so when you are caught up in the fork in the road, when you feel like you're torn in from different directions and you need peace, how do you get it? You go within. You go to that GPS. It's like, you know, you ever been somewhere, a city or a state that you've never been to, and you're in it and you need to get around. Now you can ask for instructions from the natives, but the thing about it is that you may very well forget unless you write it down. Then when you write it down, you really still need some type of understanding of how to get somewhere you've never been before. And so you go according to your intuition, which is also your GPS. You get connected. Stay in tune with Divine Spirit. I really feel like, you know, as you plug into Divine Spirit, that's not a plug that you need to take out. You see, as I said, that Divine Spirit was showing me about a person that's in the hospital on life support. And I don't know why it's showing me this, but the thing about it is that people will fight. They will even go to court to prevent a person from being disconnected from the life support, because they do not want there to be a flat line, because there is hope. So they do not want to take the life support off. They don't want to flip the switch. They don't want to disconnect, because they're in hopes that this person, even though they're in a deep coma, this person will awaken one day, and it will be a miracle. Maybe that is someone's miracle. Also, in terms of peace, is about how do you move on to the path. You come to a point of you saying, okay, I'm going according to my intuition. I wasn't a fork in the road, but now I have decided where to go. And this brings you back when I was on another video that I did, and it was about the monks. So we have two monks, and they are on a journey, and they want to go to a new land. Okay, they want to travel somewhere new. And so they came up to this monk that's in the city that they wanted to move to, and they're like, wow, everything looks great here, but really, how is it? And so the monk said, well, where did you move from, and how did you feel about that place? One monk said, well, I didn't really like it, you know, and was just had everything available in reference to why he didn't like it. And so the monk said, well, I guess you're not going to like it here. So then the other monk, he asked the other monk the same question. And the monk said, well, I really liked where I was. I just want to do something more. I want to be able to experience a new way of being from over here, but I really did like it. So then the monk said, well, you're going to really like it. And the moral of this wonderful fable is that based on how you left the last place is the energy that you bring to your new quest. So it's about peace. It's about if you want to move on from one cycle into a new beginning, the best energy to leave is with peace. Now you may say, well, this person is disgruntled and this person is always going to be in this energy. They have to do an inner work in order to move on. Let me make sure I'm recording. But yeah. But the thing about it is that it's how you leave it. Remember, there are people who they have to come to a point of forgiving themselves and forgiving their past, the people that hurt them in their past, and in order, and that's why I'm so happy that forgiveness is timeless, right? But that person that has to do that work may not be able to come to the maturity of apologizing for whatever. And so you must say, you know what? My healing is not based on someone else's apology. My healing is based on me coming to a point and choosing to forgive so that I can move forward into healing. Okay? Because in a class, you have a bunch of students and everyone is learning that same lesson, but from a different angle, from different degrees. Okay? And so as you choose, I choose to heal. I choose to be in peace, because once you raise in your vibration, okay, that is how you are able to move on. It's like an eagle. They're able to see things from way up high instead of stooping down low. You got to see from up high. In order to see from up high, that means you have to raise your perception. You have to raise how you view the whole circumstance. You have to draw back from a situation by seeing the wholeness of it. And so the whole point is, how do you bring forth endings so that you can move to your new beginnings? You bring peace. You embrace the endings. You utilize peace. It's almost like, graduating from a class. If you didn't really learn the lesson and you're still disgruntled about certain lessons, then that means when it comes to other lessons, even though you graduate, you're still going to carry that energy. So it's about also letting go of the energy. See, this is something that only you can do with self. Because as you go within with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, it's not being codependent on anybody. It's taking a step by step and saying, you know what? This is what I learned from this lesson. I know there are new beginnings. But I choose to move on with peace to those new beginnings. And actually coming in a lesson, graduating a lesson or a class, you don't ever graduate the class the same way that you began the class, right? There is a level of wisdom. There's a level of knowledge that has been ingested, that has been received. Okay? And so when you're able to look at those lessons, glean from those wisdoms, you know that certain things aren't the same as when you started the class. And so when you move forward, you know there should be a level of maturity. As you're moving on with that level of maturity, hopefully you are choosing peace. So this is the beginning and the end of situations, the ending of relationships, the ending of friendships, the ending of even connections in families. And I dare say that, but not everyone is of the same frequencies, vibrations. Okay? You can have a family member that is karmic, and they're choosing not to learn lessons, or they're choosing to live their life in such a way. But you have to say, okay, this is complementary or this is not complementary. That is up to you. Also, what is up to you, and this is really about accountability. How do I want to move into my new direction? The mere fact of you even knowing that there's a new direction is hope. Okay? I want to move into my new direction with peace, not in pieces. A bike can't move forward or even backwards if it is going in different directions at the same time. So alignment is so important. Okay? So let's see. That was the download to maybe uplift somebody. I'm going to use my oracles. Let's see. So here I have, this is Taurus. This is the number 10. And this is the moon. So Taurus is about, Taurus is an earth sign. And Taurus is represented by the bull. And then we have a number 10, and we have the moon. What I see about the moon is that we always have a point of, seeing something that was hidden. Okay? And the moon is about, there's different phases to the moon. Don't just look at the moon and say, okay, I can do this or I can do that. No. Look at the moon and say, okay, what energy can I glean from the moon? Okay? Because there's a fullness of the moon, there's a crescent of the moon. Right here, this looks like a crescent, right? So when I think about it, when I think about the crescent of the moon, there's illumination, refinement, or we are talking about forgiveness. So either way, alright, either way, in reference to the moon, okay, we are talking about, all right. So in reference to your cycle and moving on to new beginnings, we are talking about refinement, and or we are talking about forgiveness. So when I see the Taurus and I see the bull and I see the number 10, now with the number 10, that means endings. Okay? And so the bull moves forward, full charge, determined. But how do you move forward, and what energy do you move forward as there are endings? See, the number 10 is about endings. Where there's endings, there's new beginnings, right? So the bull is known, positively, the bull is good. All animals are good. But the bull is known about moving forward, charging ahead, standing strong, coming to an end. There's a quote, you end strong, right? But in what strength? Is it a strength of peace? Or is it a strength of stubbornness? See, because there's two sides. How are you going to bring forth this ending so you can have a new beginning? And that is the question. Are you going to refine? Refine means, editing, that editing process. So here we have, there's an editing process before the fullness of the moon. What are some things that you need to take away from your consciousness, from setting your intention? It's like writing down a plan. I write down a plan. I'm just brainstorming, right? So I'm brainstorming as I'm writing down this plan. I'm gathering my facts, and I'm saying, okay, this is what I want to add, and this is what I may not need to add. The pros and the cons. And so, okay, this is what I want to do, but let me determine the pros and cons. Let me continue to brainstorm. Let me just throw everything on this page, this drafting page, right? Let me throw every idea. Let me throw every thought. I am not going to put any expectation on any of the thoughts. It's just free willing, free writing. All right, so I'm just going to throw it down. And then, as I've thrown it down, then I'm going to visit each point. As I visit each point, then I'm going to write my pros and cons to it. As I'm writing my pros and cons, then I'm going to measure. Okay, which one needs to be here and which one doesn't need to be here? Which is a priority, which is not a priority? Which is something that is going to be connected to my short-term goals and which is more long-term? And what I see about the Taurus bull is also about strength, which I already mentioned. So as you're utilizing your strength as you come into the endings, when you finish off strong with peace, you're able to carry that energy. As the monk was saying, based on the energies, it's all about how you leave your past. If you're leaving your past with anguish, resentment, and pain, that is you. That is your energy. But if you leave your past with peace and love and adventure and newness, you see, with all those feelings, there's no fear. Okay? With the resentment and the anguish and the frustrations, within that is fear. So you're also bringing fear to your next level, your next step. And even though it's a different environment in a different situation that can bring forth newness, it's all about you. You are that common denominator. So it's like, okay, I'm in a new situation, new surroundings, but what energy is with me as well? Is it anguish and resentment? Am I still bringing fragments of the past? Or am I bringing that wisdom with me, and I know that I am healed and I am in a new area? There's a new feeling, there's a new vibe, there's freshness. You are the bull. It is all up to you. Okay? So, let's see. I'm just going to pick one. Oh, 3 came out. Let's see, 3. Yes, okay. So one of what I got is I have a bow. That means a gift. Ooh, here I have a heart, and it's got an angel's wing on it. And then here I have, what is this? Ooh, a teddy bear. Marvelous. So what I got is, there's a gift. All of this is different components of your gift. A gift given from above. A gift. When I think about teddy bears, I think about comfort. You know, as I think about, and this is so beautiful because how Divine Spirit sees you, how the guardian angels and the archangels see you, is of the love that I feel right now, like in explaining it. It's unconditional love. And for those mothers who actually do care for their children, or guardians who raise children from when they're young, they won't admit it at times, or maybe they will, but they will always say, you know what, you will always be my baby son or my baby daughter. Okay? You will always be my baby, right? And it doesn't matter how tall you grow. It doesn't matter how old you are. For those that actually love you and have nurtured you when you were young, that love that carried you as you were a baby, that love is still there. And so as you come out of situations and you utilize forgiveness, you're utilizing unconditional love, you're utilizing peace, this is what is given to you. You're given this teddy bear to bring you comfort. You're given the love from the angelic realm, because here we have a heart and we have an angel's wing. And then here we have, the gift is your healing. When you're able to move from the past of peace, as you're moving from the past towards your future, you are transformed. As a caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, that caterpillar, the past is disintegrated. And the butterfly, strength, right? Move into a new direction, different levels. It is the strength that brings you out of that chrysalis. The strength of peace. The strength of being in harmony with your own heart, with your purpose, with divine spirit. And that's how you're able to move forward as the butterfly. You're not moving forward with the mentality of the caterpillar. You're not moving forward with the mentality of the past. But you're moving forward to new beginnings. Okay? And so, it's again, the bull is about strength. You can either be that bull where you can be bullheaded and stubborn, or you can be that bull where you're strong and fierce and you're moving forward in great strides. It's up to you. But there's an ending. How do I move forward from this ending? Okay? I'll put that away. It's a gift. If you're moving forward with peace and love, you know, you're going to see that your future is a gift. And as you're moving forward healed. Okay, now let's go to this oracle. It's called the Enchanted Map. Guardian Angels, Angelic Realm, I thank you so much for all that you are and continue to be in our life. Actually, let me utilize this. What I love about these oracles is that it's about helping you as you're on your journey. And as you're on your journey, there are certain things about self that you have to say, okay, as I'm on my journey and I'm building my connection with Divine Spirit, what are some things that I need to, what are things that I need to take a look at? How am I moving on, okay? Overall, it's confusion. Oh, so, you know, that's the bull. The bull, confusion about an ending, and needs to get some answers. How do I move on from this ending? So, I don't do tarot anymore, but the thing about it is that in the tarots, there is there's four. Okay, 4 suits. The cups and the pentacles are always goodness. The ending of certain things brings forth the new beginnings. New beginnings in terms of prosperity, not only with money, but with health and with family. And locations, because even in that card I'm seeing everything is lush. And then we also have the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups is about love and happiness and bliss. But then on the other side of it, because there's 2 sides, there's the swords and there's the wands. Now the swords are about anguish in the mind, betrayal, coming to the understanding of what has happened over periods of time. And then the wands is about burdens, but it's about what are you carrying, willingly carrying, as you're on your journey back to self. So that when I see the person carrying the wands, 10 of wands, and their home is in the distance, but they're going in that direction, is what are you willingly carrying as you're on your journey? So the thing about it is, as you're moving on your journey, if you're moving on with regret, with frustration and pain, that means you're not choosing healing. You see, as you forgive, you say, Divine Spirit, I forgive. I sign off on this project that you've placed in my hands. You haven't caused it, but you trust me enough that I can bring forth an ending to this cycle. And so I take this and I forgive. And knowing that aspects of myself is disintegrating, I utilize the strength and give it to you, Divine Spirit. And as you're doing that, you're releasing regret, releasing pain, releasing anything. And as your hands are open, you're in a perfect position of receiving. Receiving what? Receiving peace, receiving healing, receiving rejuvenation. Now, mind you, all these things don't happen all at once, but it's like mechanical. When you let go of that mask, because I have an oracle card where you're holding on to a mask, and as you hold on to the mask, which is above your head, you don't realize that you're being locked in, you're chained in. But once you take that mask down and you let it go, then that locking mechanism is unlocked. So it's like, as you're moving forward, you're in two sides. Maybe a person is moving forward, but they're in confusion because they're also dealing with guilt. They may be also dealing with insecurity. But Divine Spirit says, when you let go, you'll be able to recover. Whoever you are in the class, recovery comes when you move on. You release guilt. How do you release guilt? You forgive yourself. You take a look at the situation. You take accountability. You say, okay, I'm confused. I have guilt of being insecure. This could be about a person who was bullheaded and may cause him to do certain things. See, we have the devil right here because of insecurity. But something is coming to an end. Cycle is coming to an end. And so maybe there's confusion because you're not looking into the light. Whoever, maybe it's you or somebody else who's done this to you. They're guilty about something and they want to iron things out. Ooh-wee! Oh my goodness. Let's take a look here. Remember, I was telling you about an oracle card that I have. And this person has got this mask up, but they don't realize that they're locked. Now, this is the first time I've seen this, but here, interesting enough, we have an angel, right? A person that could be an earth angel, a person that could be a light worker, a person that could, like, their purpose. They have purpose. We all have purpose, but it's up to you. How do you move on? Do you utilize your purpose for good? Here, this person has a lock. They have a chain on their hands. I don't know why that's the first time I'm seeing this, but they have a chain on their hand. And they're trying to iron out situations. Maybe, what I'm getting from this is, as you're going through situations and you take a reflection of yourself as things are coming to an end, you're able to say, wow, whoever this is for, okay? Someone is locked in. There's guilt. Here we have a person in the back and she's drinking water. Wait, is that water? I believe it's water. But here we have another person who is locked in and ironing this dress. Guilt. Now this is so interesting, because the first time that I saw this, I was looking at the angel, and sometimes, you know, when you're an empath especially, you're receiving so much energies from others. And you yourself have to say, okay, I know that I'm here for a purpose of healing. But I myself must go through this healing in order to be able to be present in someone else's life. Remember, as you're moving forward, it's about the energy that you bring. So an empath has to understand which is my energy, which is somebody else's energy, which is something that I'm meant to heal or help in healing, is always assisting. You see, as being a coach, sometimes coaches, counselors want to carry the burden, want to just iron out situations. But that is not your purpose per se. Your purpose is to bring forth the assistance so that someone else can be more intrinsic and rely upon their intuition, so that way they can be the ones ironing out their situations. And this guilt can be seen from both sides. You may be a person that says, you know what, I know that this person has caused certain situations because of insecurity and they lock themselves off. But I know that my purpose is here to heal. Let me help this person by healing. And as you're helping, you may try to do all the work. But no, this person, instead of them sitting down and drinking this water, this person needs to be here, ironing out their own situations. Also, the guilt comes in that this person is so guilty because of their insecurity that they can't do anything. And so here you are as an angel, locked in because of guilt. Guilt to some degree on a different level. Sometimes the guilt is, you know, I really want to take everyone where I'm going. I feel good on the inside, and I really, even though this person brought confusion because of insecurity, lack of maturity, I really would like for them to heal. The thing about it is, you can take the horse to the water, but she's not drinking it. And that's something that empaths have to understand. That's something that light workers, healers have to understand, that you can bring information. You can very much want the person to take the medicine of healing. But if they're bullheaded about certain situations, it's all about the energy that they bring. There are some times where, you know, there are family members, there are even lovers, friends, family members, situations that you have to leave behind. Ooh-wee. Divine Spirit is telling me about Lot. And the angel had to take Lot and his family by the hands because of the unconditional love that they have, because Lot was even showing a bit of hesitation. And so the angels had to bring them out of Sodom. Had to bring them halfway out of it, brought them to a place of still safety. But the angel said, you must go to the mountains. And Lot said, I would die in the mountains. But can I go to this area that is more secure for me and my family? And the angel said, yes, you can go. I cannot start until you are there. But do not look back. Do not look back. Another thing Divine Spirit is showing me is that this is not just about you letting go of people that may have hurt you and brought forth confusion, because of Divine Spirit is telling me resentment, insecurities that have to deal with their own energies. Because, you know, as we're going into different paths in our life, there's different intersections. And those different intersections are those lessons. Now, as a person moves into a class, they may be still carrying the energy from their past. And because they're carrying the energy from their past, it prevents them from learning the lesson that is being mindful. because they still have the energy from the last class. It's up to you how you move forward into your next class. Are you moving forward with regret and resentment and pain? Or are you moving forward with peace? Truth be told, there are different students in that classroom. Bring it back to that table. There's one child who, all the children have their own toys. One child is looking at the other child who is in peace, and they're looking at their toy and they're playing with their toy. They're at peace with their toy. They're at peace with their lesson, because what they're utilizing, and I don't mean to go down deep, but as a teacher and knowing how to take care of children and have been in the environment of taking care of children, it's about fine tunes. It's about your fine motor skills and your large motor skills. So there comes a time where children, as they are at the table, and either they're doing Play-Doh, or they're building blocks, or they're playing with different toys, it's also about them learning a lesson on, okay, this is a car, different facets of a car, different facets of a plane, different facets of a house. What can I build with these bricks? What can I build with these blocks? The thing about it is, beautiful soul family, is about understanding what they can do, utilizing their fine motor skills to be able to see what they can produce, what they can learn. And they may be totally within that lesson because of how they left the last lesson, which is in peace. That they're not holding on to that lesson. They have already graduated. And so they're present in learning something new. But see, here we have the other child. The other child has got a gift too, has got a present, has got a toy, a lesson that they're meant to learn from. But if they didn't let go of the past, if they didn't really have a full grounded understanding, but they were good enough to pass, they're still coming in with resentment. They're still coming in with some negative type of lower toxic energy. And so even though they have that toy in their hand and they should be mindful of the lesson that they should be learning, they are too busy looking at other people. Okay? And so they still come in with this energy of regret, of frustration. Feeling empty, really. And so they take it out. There's a transference. Because once a person, the child, transfers their frustration upon the other child that was totally in their own world, just learning their lessons and being happy about it, there was a transference when they took that toy. You see what I'm saying? Immediately upon taking that child's toy, they felt good at seeing that child being sad. You see, it's a lot of energy that's coming into play. Okay, this is what Divine Spirit is showing me. And so, either there are people here that have insecurities, something that they didn't learn about in their past, but some way, somehow they move forward. And now there's guilt. Guilt that the person is just not strong enough to move ahead, or they're like, wow, I really did this in terms of being insecure. I'm really insecure, and maybe that person's confused about that. Sometimes a person, if you don't know that there's aspects of you that is not good, because maybe your friends, all your friends are the same way. So it can't be wrong, right? But what if all your friends are confused and insecure? Because that is the energy that you did not heal. So here we have an angel. She or he could be an empath, and they feel locked into helping this person that can't even pick up the bottle of water to heal themselves. But recovery. Here we have the key. You have the key to move on, and understanding that, you know what, Divine Spirit, I may be a healer, a motivator, a teacher, ... you fill in the blank. But as you come to a point of healing, you have to understand you are not locked into the cycle. It's about endings. Number 10, right? So it's about endings. Understanding the fullness. Because even though this person is confused with insecurity, this person may be confused too. Listen, don't carry someone else's guilt, empath. Don't carry someone else's energy. For those doctors and nurses, how many leave the hospital still thinking about that patient? Okay? Still trying to find a way. How can I better help this patient? How could I have been nicer? So there's two different types of guilt. Don't get stuck on certain situations. That is when you release it to Divine Spirit. Divine Spirit, I forgive and I put this situation in your hands. Divine Spirit, I did the best that I can do. I put this in your hands. And as you put it in Divine Spirit's hands, you are able to move forward with peace. Okay? And not locked in. Some things may be bittersweet, but always choose forgiveness. See, bittersweet, mysticism. But move forward with forgiveness. Okay? And things will come to its ending. And that in itself is the miracle. Okay? So let's see. Recovery. Healing. Don't get stuck in something. Forgive. And say, you know what, Divine Spirit, as I raise my perception, I forgive, but I know it was allowed because it's a form of disintegration. Divine Spirit is telling me about a toy maker. As you're putting together that toy, that gift, there's a lot of screwing, there's a lot of cutting, a lot of gluing, hot gluing, and all this stuff. It's different things, a lot of utilizing of a hammer, you know. But in the end, you have a beautiful gift. The person that is receiving the gift or a good outcome, they may have had to wait for the toy maker to put together the toy, but you don't think about all the different things that took place. You look at the gift and you're just happy with the gift. So as you're moving on, there may be certain situations that happen in that situation, but how you move on to the end result is with peace, is with appreciation. Divine Spirit, I know that nothing can pull a wool over your eyes. So for certain situations to happen in my life, I forgive because I understand that there are certain aspects that are utilized to bring forth a disintegration as I continue to grow to be this butterfly. Okay? So let's look at this. Here is despondence. Here is workaholic. And here is perseverance. There may be certain situations in which you may feel disgruntled. Confusion. Someone's feeling disgruntled. Workaholic is about either as your purpose or you are constantly working hard at something. Okay? But then we have perseverance. So here we have where there's a disgruntled energy. Impatience. This person is disgruntled. Could be this person that is confused and insecure. But it's about moving on to new seasons. Someone's going to be happy and someone's not going to be happy. You don't utilize guilt. Don't take their energy with you, because you will be locked in. Move forward with peace. There are certain things that, you can't heal. Certain people you can't take with you. Sometimes, like Lot. Lot wanted to take his future son-in-law, but they laughed at him. They weren't there. Oh, and Divine Spirit is telling me about Lot and his wife. They were both in different energies. Lot's wife did look back because she did not want to let go of the past. Divine Spirit is telling me, even though we look at, I'm saying did not want to let go of the past, the reason why Lot's wife couldn't let go of the past is because it was her present. She may have been there with Lot and her family physically, but mentally and spiritually, she was back in Sodom and Gomorrah. She was still locked in when the angel told her to go and not look back, but she was still locked in. And so this is a lesson that all of us can learn. You know, how do I move forward? Am I even able to move forward when my mind is still caught up in the past? How can I move forward to a new beginning if I'm still connected in any way, shape, or form? Workaholic is going within. It's time to put your energy to working within, being accountable. Am I ready to move forward? Am I ready to let go of guilt? Am I ready to let go of shame? And am I ready to let go of confusion? Can I move forward from people that may be insecure? Or if you're a person that has levels of insecurity from whatever happened in your past, are you able to put forth that work within yourself so that you can persevere and take off the cloak of sadness? So when I see this cloak, also I see hermit mode. You can't be codependent on anybody and do that inner work. So it's all about your healing. It's all about how do you recover. You are the one that has the key. Are you able to move forward by doing that work within? Doing that work to clear up confusion and insecurity so that you can persevere, so that you can move forward with healing, so that certain things can come to an end by utilizing forgiveness. See, this is not just one person forgiving another person. This is also about a person forgiving themselves. Forgiveness is a catalyst to healing. But the question is, how do you move on? So, here we have Talisman, here we have Dragon's Lair, and here we have One Ring Circus. Strength. Bottom of the deck, strength. How do you finish this cycle? Are you finishing strong in a positive way or in a negative way? Because you may complete the cycle to some degree and you're moving on, but what's the energy that you're moving on with? As mentioned here, it's a different class. Ooh. Divine Spirit is showing me a class. And sometimes, ooh wee, okay, all right. Divine Spirit is showing me this. Back to the classroom. So there's students in the classroom, right? Here we have a new student. And here we have a student that's always been there. Because maybe they haven't learned a lesson. Remember, if you don't learn a lesson, how can you graduate? So because this person hasn't graduated from a certain lesson, they're feeling disgruntled. They have frustration. These are different case scenarios that Divine Spirit is showing me. And then we have a new student that comes to class and they have graduated from another level. Because they've graduated with peace. They have a peace within them. They are able to, they are a teachable energy. They don't hold anything of the past. So they're able to be in that energy of learning something new. Here we have a student that has been there again because they can't learn the lesson because they're disgruntled. Something's going on within their life. Here they have, they see their classmate who is enjoying what they're doing. They're enjoying that toy. They're enjoying that lesson. Self-paced lesson. So what I'm getting, Divine Spirit is showing me a deeper level to it. The back scene of it. Now, both of these students can move on from this class by graduating to the next level. So long as the student that is a bully, now when they're in that bully energy, so long as they stay in that energy because of insecurity, and they may be even confused as why they can't graduate from that class, they're going to always stay in that class and on that level. But the person, the other child, who may have been bullied, as long as they utilize forgiveness, even from bittersweet situations that may arise, mysticism arising out of the blue, they are able to move forward to the next level. Divine Spirit is also telling me the child that is a bully, who's in that bully type energy because of insecurity, because they're confused, because they haven't been able to really learn the lesson. There's just something that they can't get. You ever had like an algebra equation and you just can't get it? Are you feeling good? No, you're not feeling good. You're like, how come I can't seem to get this? How come you get it so quickly? What's going on? And there's a level of frustration, trust. And so you may see yourself in a dragon's lair, but it is up to you. Again, it's up to you. One ring circus. It is up to you. How do you persevere to move forward? Are you going to carry this cloak over you, which suppresses you and brings you down? It's heavy loaded. This is also considered to a degree of carrying wands, 10 of wands, carrying a load. But as you choose to, you know what, in order to persevere from this, in order to move forward, I must forgive the bittersweet situations and remove this cloak from my shoulders. Here we have an angel giving you that assistance, reminding you that in order to recover, it is you that has the key to move on from insecurity and confusion. But it's about, do you take that key and utilize it? So we're back at the table with the child that is with their toy and they're learning their lesson. The bully comes over, takes the toy. That's that transference of emotions. The child that was once happy is no longer happy. The bully is happy now because they have transferred their energy over to the child that was happy. They may even play with the toy, but then they walk away. As they walk away, that child that bullied the other child is still feeling disgruntled. And because the child is full of peace, they're able to come to a point of healing. If you are a teacher, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you are a parent and you have multiple children, you know what I'm talking about. And what you're seeing is energy in motion. Two different types of energy. You get that child that falls down and they're hurt, but they get up and before you know it, they're happy again and they're playing. You see that? Because the peace is in them. And that other child is still disgruntled. Okay? And so it doesn't just stop at childhood. This continues on into adulthood, sadly enough. And as you're an empath, you have to say, you know what? I'm living my life. I'm not going to get locked into the situation. This person is not even drinking their water. Let me break free from this cycle with peace. Talisman. Talisman, let's see. What am I getting from talisman? Is you have the key. When I think about talisman, it's like a certain keepsake. But you have the key. This is your talisman, the key. Understanding you have the key to move on. See, journey. Talisman could also be like a type of GPS that you follow. You have the key to move on from the situation. Because look at here, beautiful soul family. In this picture, we have two energies. You see the duality right here? This person in the back, they're sad. They're not even drinking the water. The water is in front of them, but they're not drinking the water. Make sure I'm still recording. But then here we have the lady, and she's got a halo, and she's in the light. But she's trying, see, this is purple. This is her. She's trying to heal out this dress. Heal out, iron out the situation. And because of some type of guilt, because she's an empath, she feels that she's locked in. No. You're not locked in. Do not feel the guilt of somebody else. You must release. Okay? Release from this cold environment. And move on. And in this way, 44 is 8, is strength. Utilize your strength from the lesson. And not just have the knowledge, but actually use it to move forward. If you can't, pray. Magic prayer card. Pray. And here we have intention. Set your intention. And follow your angels, because they will direct you. The Divine Spirit is saying now is the time to move forward. Don't get locked in to try to iron out situations for somebody else. Because both people are in a lesson. It is up to you to release, forgive, and move on. Okay, so let's do the moonology, because here we have the moon. Now this reading is about healing. This reading is not just about healing with one person, but it's getting a deeper look at the stubbornness in both ways. Again, both parties can exhibit stubbornness. Okay? The empath can exhibit stubbornness by trying to iron out situations that are not even their own. You were there in that class. You did the studying. You learned. You gleaned the wisdom. You graduate. Plain and simple. You've come to your ending in the lesson. You move on. You're moving on from burdens. You see, the 10 of Wands is about someone who understands they're coming to the end, but they're on their way home, but they're trying to carry those wands as well. No, you're to let go of it. Release. Here we have you're good enough. Here we have luck is on your side. And here we have a new start coming. Ooh-wee. So here I have on the guilt card. Oh my word. Look, here we have despondence. Despondence is frustration. Here we have the person in the purple in the back. Purple dress. Orange. Guilt. That's the sacral chakra. That can block you. You've learned a lesson. Two people learning a lesson. One is a disgruntled energy as they're looking into their life. And one is not of a disgruntled energy. But still there's a level of guilt because you're carrying someone else's energy. Trying to iron out their situations. The answer is no. Understand that as both of y'all, see, even when her arm is over there, there is this glow around her that separates her from the purple. Now, purple is a beautiful color, but still, it's talking about the duality of it. Okay? This person is in the corner, and this is something that they have to learn. This is something that they have to see. They got to go within to see the unseen. You, however, are able to, but you must not let the energy of somebody else, insecurity and confusion, block you from moving forward. See, behind her, the whole world is there. I don't want to say the world, but, you know, where she's moving to, new beginnings. Okay? This person doesn't have a window view. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes for empaths or for people who are kind-hearted, they tend to carry situations that are not theirs, which keeps them locked into a cycle that they've already graduated from. But Divine Spirit says, listen, I'm giving you the protection. Also, when you see here, that is protection. You are not there to iron out this person's situation that refuses to drink the water. You are there to forgive. So that is your vigor for purpose to move on. Okay? Being in a good energy. So that as you go into your new beginning, because luck is on your side, really not luck, but your blessings are on your side. Here we have the bow and arrow, moving forward with great focus, great vigor. That reminds me, you know, as you got the bow, as you're pulling back that arrow, as you're pulling back with the arrow, you know, with great focus to your tomorrow, to your future, to moving forward to your new beginnings, and then you let go. It's full steam ahead. Also, as you have that bow and you're drawing back, that is likened to you. Because of this person with insecurity, they didn't understand what they were putting into the situation. Devil's energy. And so this person may have guilt, and to a degree it may hold you back, but you have to say, no, I am good enough. I've had enough of this lesson. I am good enough to move forward into the new beginnings. And though some things may hold you back, it's really building that momentum to move you forward. Divine Spirit is telling me the shooting star, moving forward into what? Into newness. Okay? Continue to follow the leader. Continue to follow Divine Spirit. Because Divine Spirit will always lead you into healing and new beginnings. Okay. So let's see what angel can help you. What angel can help you as you are in the midst of moving forward? As you decide to move forward, what angel can help you out? I like this reading. All right, so here we have focus your mind. Okay, didn't we talk about focus in reference to luck is on your side? Okay, so Sagittarius, the Sagittarius energy is about, more than anything, is about going on an adventure. Always wanted to see some newness about an environment or about people. They're always open to the newness. When you're pulling back, is in the focus mode, but you are also pulling back that arrow to move it forward to newness. Okay, but you must focus your mind to where you want that arrow to go. Love and accept yourself. And then here we have transformation, beautiful soul family. So here we have, when you're focusing your mind, those certain things may cause you back, even when you feel like you're holding yourself back. Let go of the past. Pulling back that arrow is also you not being mindful of the present, and you're staying in the past. And to a degree that can hold you back, but it's also in a good point bringing momentum. You have to say, I'm ready to move forward. And it is you. See, it is you that pulls back. Sometimes it is you that holds yourself back in cycles that have come to an end. You must understand. Okay, so interesting enough, so I didn't have enough space on my camera, and then my camera battery went down. So there's going to be different things, all right? There's going to be different things that will cause you to prevent you from moving forward. But again, this analogy of a person, they have a bow and arrow. Now they have a bow and arrow, that means they have a target, or they're getting a target. But regardless, as they put in that bow as they put in that arrow into the bow, and there is pulling back. Now, from a negative aspect, as you're pulling back, that means you are staying in the past. Something's preventing you from moving forward. Something's preventing you from closing out a cycle. But then as you release the arrow and you are focused, as you're releasing the arrow, you are able to go into new beginnings. How do you go into the new beginning is based off of the love and acceptance of yourself. Usually that helps you to move in a new direction with a good energy. Understanding the situation, the lesson was meant to transform. So here we have Archangel Zadkiel says, thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform my past challenges. You see, in order to move forward, some things have to be brought back for you to learn. But you yourself must release. And as you're released, it's that momentum that's being built up that actually brings you forward with great exuberance. Okay? So there's a lesson. Two people are learning. Two people must determine individually how they choose to move forward, or if they graduate or not. Let's just say that. A person that decides, you know what, I've learned a lesson, I'm gleaning the wisdom, I'm good enough to move forward into my new beginnings. Or the person that's not learning from their lesson because they may be caught up in confusion, caught up in guilt. That is their block. And so they have to go through a point of healing, forgiveness of self, forgiveness of people who may have treated them like that. And they have to move forward. Okay? As they're moving forward, you know, they're like that bull. That bull is like that energy. The bow, the arrow, the person pulling back and moving forward with greatness. That release. Hopefully I'm coming across clearly. But it's bringing forth balance. See, the only way you can move forward is with balance, by knowing, you know, I learned a lesson. I've gleaned the wisdom. I am enough. And maybe that's the lesson within itself. I am not insecure because I am enough. But you're able to move forward because you're understanding, I am enough. I am enough to move forward. I am enough to turn my back to the past. You see, interesting enough, the person that holds the bow and pulling back the arrow, they're focused on their next conquest. They have their back to the past. Okay? And so that's how you release. I'm moving forward. I am enough. I learned this lesson. I'm in the midst of celebration because I've graduated. I decided to forgive, and I decide to release to you, Divine Spirit. And as I release, I receive healing. I receive recovery so that I can move on to my next lesson, to my next quest. And because of the energy that I have within, and I know that Divine Spirit is on my side, I know that I'm moving with pure trust and faith. And that's why that person, whoever you are, is able to move forward with peace. And maybe that person who is not learning, you know, everything that you give also is what you receive. So if you or whoever you are acted out of confusion, brought forth confusion because of your own insecurity. So a person that hates, they're going to give hate. A person that loves is going to give love. And what you give is what you receive. And when you give love because you have self-love, you're able to move forward. But if you give confusions and insecurity and actions of insecurity, which is also the devil's energy right there, that's what you receive in your life. One person is able to transform and one person is not, but it's all up to you. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Namaste.